Hello students, welcome to Science Teacher. We are discussing about class 10 biology, life processes. We already discussed about nutrition in the human beings. In that we discussed that the nutrients in the form of food reaches our body. Then in the body it is digested and absorbed into the blood. Now the blood is taking all the nutrients into the cell. Now for further reactions, that is to break down the simpler substances to release energy, for that the cell requires oxygen. So how the cell is getting oxygen? For that we have to discuss today. Now how gases are exchanged between the atmosphere and the body. So that is gaseous exchange in a human body. We are going to discuss today. So respiratory system, for the exchange of gases, one separate system is required, that is called as a respiratory system. Let us discuss in detail about the parts of respiratory system in the human beings. So in this session we are discussing about human respiratory system part 1, that is structure of human respiratory system. We will learn about the basic organs related to human respiratory system. This human respiratory system is divided into two parts. One is upper respiratory tract, another one is a lower respiratory tract. Upper respiratory tract consists of first part is a nose, then nasal cavity, pharynx and larynx. So four parts are there in the upper respiratory tract. First one is nose. It is the opening through which the air enters into the body. That nose will be leading to nasal cavity or the nasal passage. Then afterwards you can see this area that is called as a pharynx. It is a common opening for the food and the air to enter inside. Then that pharynx will be leading to larynx, which is also called as a voice box. These are the parts related to upper respiratory tract. Let us discuss them in detail. So this nostril is a small opening. You know, two nostrils are present. One is left and the one is right. So through the nostril what happens? Air enters into the body. Now air entering through the nostril will be passing through a cavity known as nasal cavity. Now what happens to the air when it is passing through the nasal cavity? Here nasal cavity is lined up with a membrane called as a mucous membrane. This is a special membrane called as a mucous membrane. This membrane will be secreting mucus. So what is the use of mucus? Mucus will trap all the particles which are entering into the body through the air. So air will be having dust in it. Some smaller organism will be there. Also some microorganisms like a bacteria will be there along with the air. So that air has to be filtered. So for that this mucus will do the function of filtering the air. Bacteria and dust particle will be trapped in the nasal cavity. Now this mucous membrane is lined with small cilia, hair-like structures called as the cilia. This cilia will move in opposite to the direction of the flow of air. That is how the particles, dust particles will be moved out of the air. Now the filtered air will be moving into the pharynx. Before that, when the air is passing through the nasal cavity, again this nasal cavity is having certain specialized cells which will warm up the air. So warmed and filtered air, warmed and filtered air will be passing into the pharynx. Now what is this pharynx? This pharynx is the common opening. So this is the pharynx. This pharynx is the common passage for food and air. Food and air. Now after this pharynx, two pipes will be opening there. Two tube-like structures. One is windpipe, another one is behind. We have a small tube-like structure called as a food pipe or esophagus. That we already discussed about that. Esophagus or a food tract is there. So let us discuss that. This pharynx, into the pharynx, the filtered and warmed air will be moving. Now next what happens? See here, you can see windpipe is in front and behind there is a food pipe. Now there will be a one very difficult situation if the food, when we are swallowing the food, if the food enters into the windpipe, it is a death situation we can say, then we will die if the air tract is choked with the food. So for that there is a specialized structure called as epiglottis or the lid-like structure above this windpipe. So epiglottis will help or prevent the food from entering into the air tract. So how the epiglottis is placed above this windpipe? So it is a muscular structure, small flap-like structure like this, and this is the windpipe. So what happens is whenever we have to breathe in air, this flap-like structure will be moved upwards. Now the windpipe is open. Then what happens when we are swallowing food? So this will be having some pressure on it when we are swallowing the food. Then it will go down and close this windpipe. That is how it protects the windpipe from entering the food. Now, then what happens? After that, you have to understand there is a part called as a larynx. This larynx is also called as the voice box, or it is having a vocal cords in it. What is this vocal cord? It is a muscular membrane. It is having flexible cords in it. These are the flexible cords. Flexible cords. These cords will be moving apart whenever we are breathing and it is open. Now when we are breathing out, that time they will come closer and we are able to speak that time. The different sounds are produced when these vocal cords are coming together. When it is open, you can see air will be moving inside. So this is a breathing in and breathing out. While breathing out, we are speaking. Next, we will discuss about, see, you can see the structure of the vocal cord here. This is the structure of the vocal cord or say structure. And after that we have to discuss about a lower respiratory tract. Lower respiratory tract consists of a trachea or the windpipe. Trachea is also called as a windpipe through which wind moves into the or air moves into the lungs. Now after that we have bronchi, two bronchi. This windpipe or the trachea branches out into two bronchi. Then that bronchi will be branching off further into many bronchioles inside the lungs. Bronchioles will end up with air sacs, balloon-like air sacs called as alveoli. These are alveoli. So what all things are there inside the lungs? You can see the balloon-like structures called as alveoli and branchings called as bronchioles. These branchings are called as bronchioles and the main branches are called as bronchi. So bronchus means singular, two means bronchi. Then there is a windpipe called as a trachea. Let us see the modifications in this. See, when I talk about lungs, what is lungs? It is a spongy tissue which is mainly required for gaseous exchange. This is the center where the gaseous exchange takes place. It is modified for a better gaseous exchange. These lungs are very delicate, so it is placed inside the rib cage. So this rib cage is present in the chest cavity or a thorax. In our thorax, more technical term is a thorax. So in the thorax we can see the rib cage, and the rib cage, inside the rib cage we can see the lungs. One pair of lungs are present, right and left. Left lung is smaller because in the left side of the chest heart also present. So in order to keep the heart in that side, left lung is made a little smaller. Now how many ribs are there? 12 pair of ribs are there making. So 12 pair of ribs make up the rib cage. So here up to 5th rib, you can see the front part of the lungs is extended up to 5th rib. Now behind there are the lungs are extended up to 10th rib. After that, 2 floating ribs are there, they are not joined at all. Okay, so this is how the lungs are there. Now, how the trachea is modified. Here, trachea is lined up with C-shaped cartilaginous rings. What is the use of these C-shaped cartilaginous rings? These rings will prevent the collapsing of air tract. Whenever we are breathing in, the air tract will be bulged out. But when we breathe out, there is no air at all. That time it should not collapse. For that, in order to hold the shape of the windpipe, for that the C-shaped, that is only anterior part of the windpipe is held with these C-shaped cartilaginous rings. They will prevent the air tract from collapsing. Now you see this will be branching out. This air tract will be branching out. These structures are called as bronchi. Here this one also is having the cartilaginous ring. So what is that? C-shaped cartilaginous ring to provide a protection for this bronchi. It will prevent the collapsing of the air tract. Now these bronchi will branch out further. First one is the primary bronchiole. First part is called as a primary bronchiole. And this primary bronchiole further branches into secondary bronchiole. Secondary bronchiole. The secondary bronchiole will further branch out into terminal bronchiole. Terminal bronchiole, which ends up with balloon-like structures called as alveoli. These are air-filled balloon-like sacs. So these alveoli are the sites for gaseous exchange. Now let us learn in detail about this alveoli. See, you can see the structure of the alveoli. Somewhat it looks like a balloon only. The wall of these alveoli are very thin wall. And what is the purpose of this air-filled balloon-like structures? It will increase the surface area. What it does? It will increase the surface area many times. So for the gaseous exchange, for that we will get 75 square meter of area because of this balloon-like structures. You can imagine this, it is almost like one side of the tennis court. Tennis court, one side, that much area is there. One side of a tennis court is 75 square meter. That much area is present in our chest. So that is for a gaseous exchange. So what is the function of alveoli? Its function is to increase the surface area. How it is modified for this gaseous exchange? It is modified with very thin wall. It is made up of very thin wall. And next, richly supplied with blood vessels. numerous blood vessels. They will bring more blood to the area of gaseous exchange. Now, the gases can easily diffuse into the blood. Next is this having a balloon-like structure provides maximum surface area for exchange of gases. So, surface area is increased. Then the thin wall is there for easy diffusion of gases, and this rich supply of blood to the area, that also facilitates the exchange of gases. Now again you can see that here the vocal cords, how we are able to talk, this also you have to remember, we are able to talk because of the vocal cord. When we are breathing in, the cords will be opening, and when we breathe out, cords will not close. So now what happens, through that gap, when the air is moving out, there will be vibration. So that vibration brings about the sound. So we are able to speak only because of this vocal cord. So what all things are there in the respiratory system? So respiratory system, we have upper respiratory tract and lower respiratory tract. And upper respiratory tract is having nose, nasal cavity, then pharynx and the larynx. Now what happens to the air when it is moving through the nasal cavity? The air gets filtered up, it is warmed up and moistened. So moist air is required for a better gaseous exchange. That all are done in the nasal cavity. So the air is warmed, filtered and it is moistened in the nasal cavity. Then the air will be passing on to the pharynx. Then it will be passing on to the larynx, that is the voice box. Here, before passing into the larynx, there is a flap-like structure called as epiglottis. It will move upwards to allow the air to enter. Now after entering into the larynx, vocal cords will open and the air will move inside the trachea. So in the trachea, we have a cartilaginous rings, C-shaped rings, which will prevent the collapsing of the air tract. So air will move inside, and then this trachea branches out into two bronchi. Then that bronchi will be branching further into primary bronchiole, secondary bronchiole, tertiary bronchiole. Finally, this is ending with terminal bronchioles into the balloon-like structures called as alveoli, which is the actual place of a gaseous exchange. So how these alveoli are modified for a better gaseous exchange? It is having thin wall. What all things the alveoli are having? It is having thin wall for easy diffusion. Next, it is having rich supply of blood. So that also increases the diffusion of gases. Rich supply of blood. And third modification is with balloon-like structures, the surface area increases. Surface area will be increased. So increased surface area for a gaseous exchange with the balloon-like structures. This is the basic structure of human respiratory system. I hope you all understood about the human respiratory system. Let us meet in the next session. We are going to discuss about the mechanism of breathing, gaseous exchange, and next we will discuss about respiration in plants. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.